All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about a huge fundamental shift happening in tech, pretty much right under our noses. You see, we're moving away from AI that just helps us out to AI that actually acts all on its own. And no, this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. This is the beginning of something called Agentic IT. And believe me, it is changing literally everything.
So, to really get why this matters, let's talk about the stakes. And they are massive. $2 million. I mean, just let that sink in. That can be the cost for a big company for just one single hour of IT downtime. Why? Because the digital systems we all rely on are just so incredibly complex now that when something breaks, the bill is, well, it's astronomical. And that right there, that brings us to the absolute core of the problem. People are calling it the digital complexity crisis. Think about it. Our digital world is this enormous, sprawling web of cloud services, microservices, old legacy systems all tangled together. It has gotten so vast and it moves so incredibly fast that human teams, well, we just can't keep up anymore. We've basically hit a wall, which means we desperately need a new way of doing things. Okay, so the first crack at solving this was something called AI Ops. That's AI for IT operations. And the whole idea was pretty smart, right? Let's use AI to augment the humans, to help them find the important signals in all the noise, maybe predict problems before they happen, and just generally make sense of all the chaos. And look, it was a really helpful first step. But at the end of the day, it was still just an assistant.
Okay, this is where it really clicks. I love this analogy. Think about traditional AI ops like that collision warning system in your car, right? It starts beeping like crazy, flashing lights telling you, hey, problem ahead, but you're still the one who has to slam on the brakes. Now, Agentic AI, that's the self-driving system. It doesn't just warn you, it sees the danger and it takes control of the car to avoid the crash. See the difference? It's a massive leap from just alerting to actually acting. And this chart here really lays out the nitty-gritty. But the key takeaway, the most important shift, is moving away from these rigid, pre-programmed rules. Traditional systems were kind of stuck. If they ran into a problem they hadn't been specifically programmed for, they'd just struggle. Agentic AI Ops, on the other hand, is totally different. It's dynamic, it's adaptive. It doesn't need a person to kick it off, and this is huge, it's always learning from what happens, so it can handle totally new situations it's never seen before.
All right, so let's get into the tech that's making all of this possible, Agentic AI. And we need to be clear here, this goes way beyond simple automation. We're talking about true, genuine autonomy. So what are we actually talking about when we say AI agent? Well, it's not just a program following a script. Not at all. It's an intelligent system that can actually reason about a problem, create a plan to solve it, execute that plan using different tools, and, this is the most important part, learn from the outcome. It's way less like a simple script and a lot more like a human expert you've just assigned a complex task to. And this is basically its thought process right here. It's a constant loop. First, it reasons. It analyzes a goal, something like, hey, we need to fix this slow database. Then it plans. It figures out a multi-step strategy to get it done. After that, it acts. It actually executes the plan, maybe running some diagnostics or shifting resources around. And then finally, it learns. It looks at what happened, evaluates the outcome, and adapts its strategy for the next time. It just keeps getting smarter. And it doesn't stop there. It gets even more advanced. We're starting to see this concept of an AI war room pop up. Just picture this. You have one supervisor AI agent that acts like the main incident commander. When a big, complex problem hits, it assesses the whole situation and then starts delegating tasks to a whole team of specialized agents. You've got your AI network expert, your AI database expert, your AI Kubernetes expert, and they all collaborate to solve the problem, just like a human team would. Okay, so at this point, you're probably thinking what I'm thinking. Giving AI this much power, this much autonomy, that's a little scary, right? It raises a massive question. How in the world do we make sure these things are safe, reliable, and don't just, go completely off the rails? If we're going to let them run our most critical systems, we have to be able to trust them 100%. And the answer to that is a whole new discipline that's emerging called Agent Ops. The best way to think about it is this. Remember how DevOps brought all this structure and reliability to building software? Well, Agent Ops is doing the exact same thing, but for managing autonomous AI. It's the rule book. It's the operational backbone. It's how we build the guardrails for these incredibly powerful new systems. Let's just look at a couple of these principles. Take
Observability. This is absolutely crucial. It means we need to be able to see and trace every single decision an agent makes. We're turning its brain from a mysterious black box into a clear, open log that we can actually read and understand. Or how about governance? This is all about setting hard limits, those non-negotiable rules like you are never, ever allowed to delete production data. It creates a safe sandbox for the agent to work in.
So, okay, this all sounds pretty cool in theory, but what does it actually look like in the real world? What's the impact? Well, the results we're already seeing from the shift to autonomous IT are, honestly, they're a total game changer.
First off, let's talk about speed. Companies that are already using this stuff are seeing a 40 to 60% drop in something called MTTR, or mean time to resolution. Now, what that actually means is that problems that used to take a whole team of engineers an hour to fix are now getting solved in as little as 24 minutes. And a lot of the time, there's zero human intervention needed. At all. And the gains in efficiency are just staggering. Think about root cause analysis. That's the painful process of digging through mountains of data and logs just to figure out why something broke in the first place. It's super time-consuming and expensive. Well, these agents can automate pretty much the whole thing, cutting the cost by around 98%. 98! I mean, that frees up a truly immense amount of time and money for engineering teams. Now, this is maybe the most important point of all. This is not about replacing people. It's about elevating them. The job of, say, a site reliability engineer, an SRE, is completely changing. They're not going to be firefighters anymore, constantly rushing to put out the latest digital fire. Instead, they're becoming the architects, the ones who design these super resilient systems and who set the rules of engagement for their new AI teammates. They get to stop reacting and start strategizing. And that really brings us to the final big idea here. As we start to hand over all the day-to-day operational details to these autonomous agents, it frees us, the humans, up to focus on the much bigger questions. If the AI is handling the how, we finally have the time to focus on the what and the why. So I'll leave you with this question. As AI takes over as the operator, what does that unlock? What becomes the new frontier for human ingenuity?